It's time for Dodger baseball. Let me just do this really quickly. All right. Welcome to J Sports, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good morning, if that's where you are. This is J Sports. Like I said, I'm your host, Jason Olomio. In a bit, our guest / co-host, Mr. the Sexy Man himself, ladies, Duncan Dye will be here. And it's gonna be a good day. We're gonna be discussing the Dodgers. We're gonna be discussing who will be in the postseason. Will it be Trace Thompson, Chris Taylor, Cody Bellinger? Why not? What's gonna happen? We're going to talk Max Muncy and Austin Barnes. Are they coming up? We're going to talk Freddie Freeman, Paul Goldschmidt, Mookie Betts, who will be MVP. Maybe who might win the Roberto Clemente Award. Justin Turner is nominated for what him and his wife Courtney do for the Boys and Girls Club of Los Angeles, the LA Dream Center, something like that. So will Tony Gonzalin be ready to pitch? And if so, in the bullpen or the starting positions? Is Dustin May back? Duncan Dye is here. Let me hold on a second. Duncan. I'll add you in a little bit, Duncan. And also, we'll be discussing the new MLB rules. We'll discuss Aaron Judge hitting number 60. Will Pujols, Theo Albert, will he be hitting number 700 at Dodger Stadium? Will Hanser Alberto, will he be serving up that platter home run ball for Mr. Pujols, Theo Albert? We don't know, but we got our main man, Duncan Dye. What up?
Oh, just got back from class, so chilling right now.
Now, is my background working? It should be like a living room.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. Now, hold on a quick second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just take a second. All right. My light bulb started doing something weird. It's new, so there we go. So, Duncan, have you been to the clubs lately? Any new girls? I mean, we publicized you heavily on the last show.
Yeah, kind of put me on the spot, but I mean, I I've been going out here and there, but with work and school right now, it's not too crazy right now.
All right, ladies, he's a working man.
Yes, I do put my time in. I'll say that.
Oh, time and effort, ladies. So, ladies, Duncan Dye is ready to mingle. I am pouring my drink.
I'm also ready to talk baseball too.
He's also ready to talk baseball. So maybe, ladies, if you have a brother that likes baseball, he's a catch already. So we're gonna talk the Dodgers. Now, they disappointed me in both games yesterday, but we'll get to that. Let's go ahead and handle the easiest topic, the MLB rules. Now, the ones I know of that they said they were going to change, the base pads are going to be bigger from 15 to 18 inches. They are eliminating the shift, and they are implementing the pitch clock. So, am I missing any, Duncan, or should we go into each one?
No, you got them. There's three. Those are the ones.
So, let's go over what the base pads. Players are for it and against it, apparently. So, what? I mean, as someone who's played baseball, you can tell me. I mean, why would they make the base pads bigger?
I mean, it goes behind, enhancing offense, kind of.
Mm-hmm. So is it more
decreases the chance of the line, but it also works well for first baseman as well defensively. They have
more room to.
It's easier for them to cover, so to say, on a ground ball, or maybe the shortstop will. Because when you're playing first base, you get some throws sometimes that mess up your footing, depending on how shitty it is.
Right.
And, it could help out.
Okay. So you think
But to
that's a
tell
little
you the
more?
truth, my bad. The
No, go
truth
ahead.
is, I don't really understand it, like what it'll do. I'm just kind of guessing right now, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, my thought was, you see, I mean, look at the Dodger games we're watching right now. Let me turn my speech off. Sorry about that. Right now we have it to where they're having to do a replay because did his foot touch the plate here? Did it touch the plate there? So I feel like now that the pads will be bigger, I feel like there'll be more in our favor as Dodger fans and in any team's favor if they no, his foot was on the plate. Look, because it's bigger now. So getting tagged out is not going to be as it'll be as normal, but maybe it'll be a little less. I
Yeah,
don't know.
for sure. I mean,
Um,
I do think that a lot of what they're trying to do is improve the entertainment value for fans. So
yeah,
making taking away the shift it increases offense. I mean, it's a fact. How many times? Because I know we're going to segue into the next rule right now, but how many times has Max Muncy been recorded out this year because he hit one into the shift? Maybe 90, 100 miles an hour. How
okay,
many times? I bet you at least 30 times this year.
yeah. I mean, that's exactly. So the shift, if you could explain it to people what it is.
Well, the shift is a defensive strategy where the manager places the second baseman. So, say there's a lefty power hitter up, they place the second baseman in shallow right field almost, giving him a lot of room to, track a hard ground ball because you know that the odds are they're going to connect on one like that. Then you put the third baseman up the middle, and the shortstop's kind of it's weird. The third baseman is on the it's more he's more in the center of the field than the shortstop. It's a strange strategy, but it works and it does shut down offense. And you look at a team like the Astros that you know they were you know they were playing the shift perfectly all playoffs last year, even though they lost in the World Series. I mean, it's a big reason why they made it that far, though. They just were always in the right place.
So you think that maybe without the shift, the Stratros wouldn't have made it?
No, I saw a lot of plays where they shut down key hit, like what would have been a key hit, like maybe a double up the middle,
Right.
because guys like Alex Bregman were right there to get it. Where in actuality, without the shift, that definitely would have gotten through, and runs would have scored, and the script would have been flipped. But yeah,
Okay. And I mean, and the Dodgers have used, especially against the Padres, they've used the shift as effectively as ever.
yeah,
So maybe that it could be where the Dodgers, it's gonna affect everybody, but it's gonna increase offensive. You're gonna have to get more creative now that you can't use the shift to get people out.
exactly. You're gonna have to pitch better. You're gonna have to, you know, it's easier to pitch with the shift because you can just attack inside, but you're gonna have to mix that out of the equation if you're gonna, that's it's gonna make the pitchers work harder, and it's gonna add base hits to guys like Joey Gallo, Max Muncy, you
Right,
know,
exactly.
Trent Grisham is another big one for the Padres that gets out a lot on that kind of stuff, and that's why his batting average is so low. What I was saying about Muncy earlier, that's just adding 30 hits to what he has so far. And, that would probably have his average up at like 260, 270 right now.
That's true. That's true. So maybe this is more of a each team wants a little bit more offensive, a better offensive chance, and the shift is very, very much an enemy of offense for any team, regardless if you're the Dodgers, the Mets, the Astros, the Cardinals, the Padres, the whoever. It's your offense is just going to struggle against the shift, and now getting rid of it in next year. Are so before I ask you about how the adjustments are going to be for the players, what about the pitch clock? What is that? How does it work? What's why are they implementing it?
So the pitch clock, going back, remember what I said earlier, how they're catering the entertainment for fans.
Yeah.
And one of the things that baseball contains that other sports don't is there's a lot of downtime and time where you really do want to turn the game off because it's so boring.
Yep.
And I think a big part of that is pitchers taking so much time in between pitches. Especially in key situations, it's like they're nursing it almost. So it makes the game go quicker, and I think it'll be a good move, honestly.
Well, the reason that pitchers take a while is maybe they threw a curveball up the middle, and the guy got a ball out of it. They threw a fastball, got another ball. Their cutter they've used it, and it's like 20% of the time. Every time they use it, they get another ball, and they walk more people. So maybe they're trying to go, because that's why they take a lot of time. Is what am I gonna do next? How am I gonna throw this ball? Is my hand gonna go more in front of the ball, or is it gonna be behind the ball? Is it gonna be more to the side? Is it gonna be that handshake that Kershaw does? Is it gonna be a changeup? Right? That's what they're thinking. So is it gonna force pitchers to have to strategize in a quicker manner?
Yes, 100%.
In a high stakes
It's
situation,
gonna be like
yeah,
taking the shot clock in basketball. Right. It's like taking the
yep.
shot clock in basketball and lowering it to 14 seconds instead of 24. That's really what it is. So, that means they're going to have to make quicker decisions to get guys out, I mean.
And for people like Craig Crumble, that's just not a good fit.
This might sound crazy, but I think Craig Kimbrell is at his best when he's just going hyper mode, just getting the ball back, pitching like 5 seconds after he gets it. I mean, I think he takes too much time and they just wait on him. His curveball is like a volleyball dropping in sometimes.
We'll talk Craig Crumble. But because I have so much to say. So overall, with the increase of the base pads, the size of the base pads, eliminating the shift, the pitch clock. By the way, the pitch clock, is it going to go, hey, you have X amount of seconds to throw the ball. If you don't throw between those seconds, what happens?
It counts as a ball to the batter, I'm pretty sure.
That's what I'm thinking. So I guess my question is, do you think that the players are going to have a tough time adjusting to it?
I think they'll adjust to it, and I think they'll even use it to intentionally walk people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you have the nightmare scenario where Cody Bellinger is hitting last, and then Betts and Freeman are coming up, or Betts and Turner are coming up, I'm walking Turner.
Yeah.
I might let Betts hit, but I'm Betts because Betts is great, but he's more likely to strike out than Trey Turner most of the time.
Yeah.
So if I'm the other team, and that's exactly what they do, they walk Turner and Freeman. So, do you think that, of course, God forbid there be lockout, but if there's no lockout because of Manfred, do you think that the training camp's going to help them adjust better and all of that?
Of course, yeah. I think they'll even go to the extreme and make them pitch in situations with a short pitch clock. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure what the time is now, but they might even have them train, almost instantaneously. Less. You know what I mean?
Are you saying that they might simulate, like, listen, you got 10 seconds to throw, but we're going to make you throw it in 5 so you're ready for high leverage situations. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's how I should have worded it. Trying to find the right way.
No, that's why I asked for clarification. Yeah, I mean, I think because Urias, that last strike, he took over 20 seconds to throw that last strike in the World Series.
Yeah.
So could that have changed the fate of the Dodgers? They were only up 3-1.
Possibly, yeah. You never know. I mean, it was kind of over at that point, but you never know. They could have hit 2 home runs in a row and tied it.
They could have hit 1.
Yeah.
And just thank God, because I mean, can you imagine if we had Randy Rosarena, Uriel, or Margot hitting? Hell no.
Or Rosarena, I think he was on deck or something.
Yeah, he was on deck. And so, but can you imagine him coming after? No, absolutely. He was a terror for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He was absolutely a terror. All right, so those are the MLB rules. Now, by the way, what do you think of the background music?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have a new feature on StreamYard. Now when it's on the
StreamYard's pretty cool.
yeah, I like StreamYard. There's a few things where I'm like, oh, but I like StreamYard, and it makes a noise now when you come in, like a little beep. So now I'll know when you come in. I didn't realize that's what it did, so I kind of figured that out. I'm like, what's this button do? So and there's a thing where it says guests have to authenticate. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not gonna, hell no. But yeah, normally it's louder when I'm doing a video, like a solo video.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
it'll be like at 23 when I'm doing a video. So right now it's at 10.
Gotcha.
So it's not too loud and people can hear. Let's go ahead and talk another fun topic. Who will be MVP? Will it be Paul Goldschmidt? Will it be Mookie Betts? Or will it be Freddie Freeman? I was about to say Mookie Freeman. Will it be I mean, hey, they are buds. But will it be Freddie Freeman? Or Goldschmidt or Betts?
Depends. There's still some time, but I think it's going to be Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, if Freddie Freeman gets some more power numbers up, I mean, home runs do go into the equation. Like Goldschmidt has the batting average that's on the level of Freddie Freeman, but he also has 35 home runs, 36, I think.
And Freddie Freeman's like at 21 or 22. So he is behind the count of where he normally would be.
Goldschmidt has, I think, 100-something RBIs, and then Freddie Freeman, he's not even in 100 yet. So
no, he's around 80, 90, something like that.
Something like that. So I think it all depends on the final weeks of the season and who's going to go off more, like who has the better rest of the season. But I think it'll be Goldschmidt.
And do you think that Betts has a chance?
No, I don't.
How
because what puts him in the conversation is his home runs, nothing else. So you look at other guys in the league like Austin Riley, all these other guys, Kyle Schwarber, has 40 home runs now. I mean, I just don't think Mookie Betts is quite on the level to be MVP at least this season, as great as he is. And you need him in that lineup.
That's true. That's very true. So Goldschmidt, Freeman, I think Freeman has a better chance of catching up. I mean, he's having one of the best seasons of his of his career. Now home runs don't speak to that. That's Judge. But Freddie Freeman at this point should be at number 58 or something like that, if we're going to be honest, in the Braves. However, what he has with the Dodgers that he didn't have with the Braves, someone pointed it out, was the Braves never had a 100-win season.
Yeah, I did see that too.
Is it that they never did, or is that they didn't come, or is that it was that they never did?
Yeah, they never did. It's the first time in his career he's been a part of a team that's got 100 wins.
Right. And so I think, and he's the biggest part of that. A lot of people say, they were saying after he was crying like that in the Braves, I in Atlanta, I thought he wanted to leave the Dodgers because I'm like, I've never seen someone cry like that going back to their place. But again, I guess he cried because I'm like, this guy was a teenager when he joined the Braves. He grew up there, essentially. He met his wife there. He met his kids there. Or he had his kids. He had his kids there. He started his family there. So I get where he's coming from, but that was absurd to watch. And I mean, you saw Clayton Kershaw's comment. It was like, we don't want to be second fiddle to Atlanta. Basically saying, shut up. We got a game to play. Come on. So I do. I mean, Mookie Betts never cried like that going back to Boston.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
and I don't. Well, yeah, that was weird. I mean, he just won a World Series there, but still, I thought he was like gonna quit or something, leave the Dodgers.
Right. That's what I'm like. How are you like? And then of course he fired his manager, and then of course Bob Nightingale releases that dumbass tweet that says that his agent Casey never told him about the deal that Atlanta was offering. It does make you think though when Atlanta says, "We wanted you," And there's two questions to ask. Well, if you wanted him, why didn't you offer a bigger deal? Or was there a deal that Freddie never knew about? Because everyone has said it. If he would have known about if there was a bigger deal that Atlanta was offering, and it would have rang to Freddie's ears, he would have taken the Atlanta deal over the Dodger deal.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I think that's why he didn't tell him, because it was in their best interest, as greedy as they are, to play for LA. I mean, that's the goal. You know, LA, New York.
Well, for any agent, yeah, because it's a lot of money.
Yep. And that's why there is just no competition with, you know, a team like Oakland with the Dodgers, because, you know, I mean, it's just, it's crazy.
It doesn't have the same ring to it. Oh, you're going to go play for Oakland. That place is a dump.
Yeah.
And,
exactly.
Oh, you're going to go play for LA. Holy shit, we have a World Series chance.
There are no agents out there lying to their players so that they can get them to the Athletics. You know what I mean?
The Athletics aren't even lying to the players, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want the A's here just because I don't really like the A's.
Me neither.
I mean, I don't. I mean, it's just...
I hate when I see them in the playoffs because I just know they're not going to do anything. And it's a waste of space.
It is a waste of space, and they're just going to get their asses handed to them. So It makes no sense that they're in the playoffs.
Every year.
Never
make it past the first round at least. Or at most.
At most.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just... And part of it is that thing that we talked about when the lockout was on, is a lot of teams don't have the money budget to go and grab the Giancarlos and the Otanis and the Trouts, and they don't have the Freemans and the Turners and the Scherzers. They don't have the money to go get those guys.
Nope, not at all.
The Dodgers are worth like $5.2 billion.
So what they do is they go after rookies. Like, okay, I bet you the Athletics were probably looking at a guy like Cody Bellinger when he was doing all he could, because he's not level of free agency yet. So their chances of getting good players really come down to trades, like trading for a guy that isn't able to demand so much money yet, so they can have him on the roster for a bit and see if they can win. But I mean,
that's true. Who knows? But yeah, I think Freeman and Goldschmidt are head to head. I think Paul Goldschmidt's gonna win it. Do you think? But Turner, is he gonna be a batting champ like he was last year and in 2020?
No, I mean, he's too far behind in the race. I think it's gonna be Freddie Freeman.
Isn't it crazy how normally you'd say Freddie Freeman of the Braves and let's say Trey Turner of the Dodgers are neck and neck to be the batting champs in the entire MLB league, right?
Yeah.
And then now they're both on the same team.
I know.
Someone on the Dodgers is probably going to be batting champ. Isn't that insane? And one of the things that Doug McCain and Jeff Spiegel, First Take, MLB Network always are that they've been saying, this team is special. You might never see Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman, Justin Turner, and guys like that.
Max Muncy now.
And Max Muncy in a Dodger uniform. You might not see this kind of like. Remember when they
especially if they lose this year and don't close the bag, because I think Trey Turner is going to leave if they don't win the World Series. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, well, and it's also Justin Turner. He's at the end of his contract. Will they offer him another? Max Muncy.
You gotta. It's Justin Turner, man. It's like David Wright for the Mets. Like, that's kind of a good comparison. He's at that level now. Well,
the problem they had with Justin Turner is he's not as great offensively anymore. Well,
I still think he's good, man. He's
hot.
Been hurt.
He's sort of lukewarm and hot. That's what Turner is. But he's also.
I saw him. The other day, he had 2 home runs and a grand slam. I'm like,
yes, he did.
No scrub is doing that. No scrub in the league is putting up a game like that. Even if he's not at the level of home runs he usually is, because usually he gets 25 home runs, but he's been hurt. It's still Justin Turner, and you know what he does in the playoffs. I for sure would offer him a contract.
But if they're worried about his defensive play too, he's getting older. In the
You
beginning
have
of
the
the
DH
season,
now. You can DH him.
you can, but do you want to pay him that high if he's just going to be more of a DH player?
I wouldn't pay him that high, and I think even he would understand. He would accept a 1 year, $11 million contract. I guarantee he would.
You think he'd accept a 1 year limit?
Yeah, maybe 15, 1 year, 15. I think he would accept that.
I think that's
'cause
a
he knows
lot
what's-
for. I mean, because he got how
But
much for 4 years?
it's in the best interest for the team, and I think he's willing to accept that.
I love
They
Justin
have to
Turner.
be able to afford Mookie Betts. They have to be able to afford Freddie
Trey
Freeman.
Turner.
Yes, if they're going to go out and they're going to get Trey Turner, that's another one. And we're already paying Kershaw, so it's like,
Well, and Kershaw is another thing. If
Yeah.
we win, does Kershaw say, "All right, I'm hanging up the glove now"?
I hope not, man. I have no idea what he's going to do. He kind of reminds me of Brady. It's like every year, it kind of just like, is that it or not? Guess we'll
Oh, but
find
Brady doesn't have. Brady still throws like a 22-year-old football player.
out. Kershaw still pitches like a 22-year-old.
No, he does not pitch.
Yes, he does.
He
He's got
sometimes
2 near perfect games this year. 2.
he does. I'll give you that, but and you do see vintage Kershaw. His velocity is way lower. His FIP is way lower. His ERA is great.
He's holding back. I noticed
Yeah, I don't know
in the
if
playoffs, he's going to be around 95, 96, I promise you.
is he holding back or is
Yes,
he just
does
like
it every year. He goes 91, 92 consistently in the regular season. And then in the playoffs, he starts throwing 96, and they hit him better. So I don't get it.
well then they go, "Oh, well then now we can hit you because that's what we're used to."
Exactly. I think when he's at that level of velocity, it's almost like Tyler Anderson. He can get a guy to go in front of a 91 fastball. Like I've seen guys swing in front of his fastball,
Yeah.
and roll over
And
to
miss.
third base. You know,
Yeah. Well, and
That-
so but with Kershaw, they're going to worry, is he too injury prone? Is he
yes, he is.
And that's where the Dodgers are going to go, do I want to pay you if... Now, let's be fair to Kershaw. The last injury he had was not his arm, it was his back.
Yep.
So, it was his back. It wasn't anything
So
that...
he's
had to
due
deal
for
with
an
his
arm injury. No, I'm kidding. I'm
You
kidding.
son of a bitch.
I'm kidding. But
Duncan, I'm
same
going to be
time-
mad at you. Knock on wood, hopefully not, because...
I'm
But, I mean,
superstitious too. I shouldn't have said that.
see, there you go. You're trying to ruin our chances?
No more than
Oh,
Dave
no,
Roberts.
No, but we'll get there. Yeah, but again, are they gonna want to pay Clayton Kershaw? And is Clayton Kershaw gonna say, you know what? I'm 34. I'm gonna be 35. I'm done. Because I
He
mean,
could.
you saw what happened with Max Scherzer in the Mets. I think a week or two ago, he pitched a 6 no-hitter innings. They took him out, and they had a guy on first and third base. Boom. So if you see, and Max Scherzer's like 39 or something like that. So who knows with Clayton Kershaw? Now let's go in and let's go ahead and talk Max Muncy. So
right.
Max Muncy is one of those that offensively, yeah, he struggled with the shift. He's been great defensively.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he had that one game where he was in left field, or was it left field or right? It was in left field.
Max
and
Muncy?
Yeah. Oh no, he was on third base. He was on third base.
He's never been in the outfield. That's a mistake.
Yeah, no, but he was on third base, and he screwed up a play, and that was just because he's not comfortable on third base.
Nah, you know.
And that's another thing with Dave Roberts is he puts people where they're not comfortable,
I know he does do that a lot. Like,
and you can't do that in the playoffs. Because what if someone hits a dinger, you're on third base, it comes near you, and you can't play that? Well, we don't have 18-inch base pads yet, Doc. And you're gonna put Max Muncy out there who's not comfortable? Really?
I was looking at the lineup the other day. I seen Mookie Betts at second base. I'm like,
Yes.
wow. Did he just wake up to that announcement, or was that planned? Oh shit, I'm playing second base today.
Right. So do you think Max Muncy is heating up? Is it or is it now? Let's be fair. He did hit a home run yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Number
So
21. So
yeah. So is he back? Is this hot Muncie? Is this close to getting to hot Muncie? Is he gonna explode in the postseason? Where is Muncie? Where do you see Muncie?
if healthy, yeah, I got Muncie going off in the playoffs. If healthy. That's just such a big one because of what happened last year. When I know he would have gone off last year, and I know we would have won the World Series last year if we had him, because that's what we lacked, offense.
Very
You know?
much.
It seemed like we got. Remember in Game 6 to the Braves, it seemed like we got destroyed offensively that game, but we really only lost by 3 runs, 5-2. You know, what would a 3-run home run by Max Muncy have done for that game?
Yes, I do agree with that. So we are all. That's why they're trying to give him more time off, because what they don't want is Max Muncy going down again. If Max Muncy goes down, Tim Neverett was saying when Max Muncy went down, the postseason was out the window. It was just a dream at that point, no hope. And if Muncy goes down, knock on wood, hopefully not. Hope you're knocking on wood. I don't think he would, but. Again, so you're thinking he's gonna go off in the postseason? He's gonna get hot, real hot.
If healthy, yes.
If healthy, does he look healthy?
Yeah, he looks really healthy, man. I mean, he's been getting his batting average up, hitting a lot of home runs, what he's supposed to do. You know, 330 home run seasons. Now he has a 20 home run season in a down year. So, I mean,
a down year, exactly.
He's looking comfortable.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I know his batting average has gone up. His WRC plus has gone up.
It's not.
Up.
It's just not like the Bellinger fall off.
No, but and we'll get to Bellinger in a second. But it's physically, like, we know his batting average has gone up. His WRC plus has gone up. His physical, everything has gone up. His home runs batted in has gone up, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can say he's healthy based on that. But when you look at him, you look at his swing, you look at, is he looking healthy? Not based on the stats. Walking up to the plate, swinging that bat, is he healthy? Do you think?
Yeah, right now. Like if we're talking about right now going into tonight's game, yeah, I would say he's healthy. But I'll definitely notice if something changes. Like, you know, if he goes 0 for 20 for the rest of the year. But
okay. Now let's switch over to Austin Barnes. What do you see in Austin Barnes? I see.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to bring that up. I think he's great.
I think, yeah, exactly. I told you I'd bring it up. Austin Barnes is, to me, doing extremely well. He's getting Dodgers into situations where they can now hit. He's hitting home runs. He's getting on base easier.
And
he's getting under tags. Yeah, and if you see him, he gets under tags a lot. So when they do a replay, he's under the tag. That's why the tag doesn't work. So I'm loving Austin Barnes right now. Yeah, imagine if Austin Barnes and Max Muncy get hot.
No, that'd be great. I was just gonna say Austin Barnes has kind of been around for a minute. Like he's been a part of he was on that team when we went to the World Series against the Astros all those years ago. So, and that was when he was our starting catcher over Yasmani Grandal. Remember?
That's right. Yes, I do remember, because Yasmani was sat in the postseason.
Because he's just so bad.
Yes, he was.
And now it's like you see it in the regular season. Grandal is having a terrible year.
Terrible. And he's been having terrible years.
Yeah, his batting average has always been kind of low.
Always low.
A lot of strikeouts. Will Smith, great offensive catcher to start.
Absolutely.
But Austin Barnes has 8 home runs in like less than half the games that he would have played.
Yeah. Well, and Will Smith, let's get to him. Is it me or now he's hitting 288, or I think it's 290 now, something like that, with yesterday's first game at 12:10.
Wow, he's getting up there.
Yeah,
I remember he was at 240 the other week.
No, that's with runners in scoring position. His batting, the batting average without just to score a run is 188.
Damn.
So there's a problem here.
Yeah, so Will Smith isn't as reliable.
I don't think so. But he's number 4 in the lineup or number 3 on most days.
I think Will Smith is necessary to the lineup, honestly.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, whatever it is.
I can see him on defense.
Yeah. You know,
Don't
or
you?
they could do a Will Smith DH and then have Austin Barnes catch.
They could do that.
Yeah.
They could, because Austin Barnes is in flames. He's on fire right now. Let's go to someone who's not on fire, Chris Taylor. He's hitting under 250, and he needs to be hitting at least 280. You could say it's the injury. He's only been back for a month. So is it the fact that he's just not able to get up there? Is it what is it? I mean, I just don't know what it is. I think
whatever he had when he was good, is gone, and I honestly do think he's going to start sliding down statistically. But when you think about the playoffs, you know, it's different. The pitchers are so pressured, and some of them haven't even been in that situation before, to where a guy like Chris Taylor can easily go into that box and be like, I have 100 career World Series at bats. I've been here before. You know what I mean?
And that's that's exactly where Dave Roberts is probably gonna pick him for a postseason spot. Is he's been here before, where he struggled in the regular season. He got a little bit warm, a little lukewarm, and then in the postseason, remember when he hit 5 home runs against the Giants last season? In one game, where the Dodgers won like 11-5 or 11-3, something like that.
I remember he had 5 in a row against the Giants. 5 games in a row.
That was it. Yeah. So again, in the postseason, he does get hot, and he has been there before. But do you take that risk though?
Absolutely. Just last year, and yes, less than a year ago, he would have been NLCS MVP. If we won the NLCS, he would have been NLCS MVP easily.
Okay.
You know?
He wasn't injured, and he didn't miss most of the season. This year, he came back in August, late July, early August.
He's gotten a couple of dingers lately and shown signs of waking up.
Yes, he has, and his base hits were raising. He hit a lot of ground balls, and they dropped in front of a lot of good defensive players out there from for example the Padres or the Mets. So you're right on that, but unlike last season, this season he's coming off an injury that kept him out most of the season. Are you sure that he's ready to be that statistical hot Chris Taylor CT3 in the postseason?
I think he's ready to be a guy who has 1 home run in each series, and it's a big home run. I don't think he's going to go off, but I think he's going to have a couple of moments just at the right time that helps the team do better.
I'm worried about Chris Taylor. I could see where you're going. I think going off of, he did great last season. Golden Knights do that, and it pisses me off because then they go to this season and they don't do well. So I'm afraid of him not doing as well.
Yeah,
or do you think I'm just worrying too much?
No, it's understandable. I get what he's been doing lately. His batting average got as low as 216, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And then I think he's gotten it up to like 230 now.
230, yeah.
But I understand what you're saying, but I just
how can you trust him to get hot if he's not getting hot right now?
Okay, Kike Hernandez.
Oh yeah.
Started off great last year for the Red Sox, but then he actually did start to struggle a lot in like August, September, and then obviously when the playoffs came around, he went back to how he was on the Dodgers. So
I'll tell you why he went a little low. It's because he was missing the Dodgers. I'm just kidding.
Could be why.
We need Kike. I miss Kike.
Definitely.
I don't know why they got rid of Kike.
We need Kike and Jock Peterson back this offseason.
Well, I don't know that the Dodgers want Jock Peterson though.
Oh,
because
how could you not? Him and Kike Hernandez are 2 reasons why we came close to having. Series. Yeah. Well, he's the reason we won one World Series, but it's also the reason we came close to winning another. I went to World Series Game 2, and he tied it with 2 outs in the 9th. I'll never forget.
When did you go to which World Series was that?
2017.
You went to game 2, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
How much were those tickets?
Oh, they were gifted to us, but I mean, they were
How were
probably
they gifted to you?
well, we had somebody in our neighborhood who had season tickets, and then he got first access to playoff tickets, so he just couldn't go to that game.
Duncan, I want to curse you out.
It's
You
all
lucky
good. Dude.
son
They
of a
lost that
bitch.
game. I mean, it was a
I know
great
they
game,
lost that game.
but they lost.
They did lose. They
It was
did.
heartbreaking.
Isn't that where Vince Scully came in?
Yeah, he was there for a
He
pregame, and then they
Yeah.
had him do "It's time for Dodgers baseball."
How cool was that to see Vince Scully in person?
I mean, yeah. I mean, every time I see him, it's crazy because they used to show him a lot when I would go to games and he was still announcing, and they would have, the camera on him kind of, and then you can, depending on where you sit in Dodger Stadium, I used to be able to see him calling games.
What did he look like when he was calling games? Because on TV you can't really see that.
He looked. Well, first of all, he looked far as hell because I was all the way on the other side of the stadium.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it was something. He looked like a god just chilling in his kingdom. I know that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, did he look relaxed? Was he like
Hella
animated?
relaxed?
Hella-
Yeah, that's
yeah,
for
I
sure.
mean,
Probably
probably like,
smiling,
bitch.
but you couldn't see.
Probably like, bitches, I've been doing this 60-something years. Shut,
No.
That's another thing. I love these announcers. Like, oh, we have Joe and Oral, Joe and EK, or not Tim never. They never have those two together. Or Joe and Jessica, or Tim and Nomar Garcia Parra, right? Like everyone has to have a partner, and then we have David Vassay or Kirsten Watson, and I'm just like, Vin did this all by himself, all alone, nobody to sit next to him. No, well, he did have Ross with him for 28 years.
Yeah, I think it took a while for that. I think Joe Davis, honestly, will be doing that one day when he gets older. I just feel like that's kind of what they're setting it up for. Like Joe Davis is the next Vince Scully. They're not fooling me. I can see it. Because they're having him call the World Series this year, I'm pretty sure. Plus, he still gets to call all the Dodger games.
All the Dodger games. And not only that, he calls football games.
And football games, yeah. I mean, it's not like Joe Buck, though. Joe Buck doesn't consistently call games like he used to with the Cardinals. I mean, Joe Buck just does football and then the playoffs and a couple of Fox-covered games. But
yeah, he really, and he does the World Series mainly.
Yeah,
that's what he does. And
I'm
the
pretty
playoffs,
sure
not
that
a
Joe
lot of
Davis is doing it this year, which is wild.
I mean, the fact that and he got to call an All-Star game. So, I mean, yeah. And if you notice how Joe Davis broadcasts, he tells a lot of stories, and that is Vince Scully, baby. I'm like,
No, I think Joe Davis.
I see you, Joe.
Yeah, I think he's got the right approach to get a market like the MLB to have to market him, because that's really why some of these players are more successful than others, because they don't figure out exactly what the MLB is looking for. Like Trevor Bauer probably knew what the MLB was looking for, a suck up that kind of kisses ass, you know what I mean? And he was like, nah, not gonna do it. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna say all these obscene things, and then look what happened. He's getting canceled. Yep. And Joe Davis is getting all these job offers that Joe Buck usually gets just on his doorstep.
Well, and it's also true that Joe Buck is probably more comfortable doing football.
That could be it too.
And he's probably not wanting to take all that. Where I think Joe Davis is younger, so it works. But I'm just saying. Let's go to Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger. Before you go off, I'm gonna go off. Cody Bellinger is so close-minded. He's small-minded because some players like Max Muncy. Let's take Max Muncy. Max Muncy, you see how he steps back before he hits a ball? Have you seen it? Where he steps a little bit backward, just takes a couple steps
in his swing, right?
And then he lifts the swing a little bit above. Cody Bellinger's is the same, bat hanging down, parallel to the ground, his knees a little bent, and just boom, boom, strikeout, ding, ding. How many times did Cody Bellinger come up, able to load the bases, and he never did? Because he won't change his swing. He won't take any any criticisms, any help from the best hitting staff in the league. And he won't take it. Max Muncy did. So I remember saying, dude, Duncan, be careful with Cody Bellinger. He started to get a little hot, and he did hit that grand slam against the Giants. But Cody Bellinger is not Cody Bellinger. He's not 2018. He's not 2019 Cody Bellinger. So I don't think he's going to go off in the postseason. Now, he's been known to go off in the postseason.
No, not at all. He's going to suck this year.
Well, against the Braves in 2020, he hit that walk-off home run.
He also had 47 home runs one year. Oh, you can go on all day.
That's right.
Done.
But again, I don't think he's going to go off. What do you think?
I agree. I think he's going to suck. I think he's going to go 0 for 4 in NLDS game 1, and then they're going to bench him. He'll go in game 3, go 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, and then they'll just bench him for the rest of the playoffs. Or he could prove me wrong, but I don't think he'll get a hit.
I see Chris Taylor getting 2 home runs a game, or at least 2 home runs in a series over Cody Bellinger. Definitely. I see Chris Taylor getting on base more, which he doesn't get on base a lot.
The whole time you were telling me you were worried about Chris Taylor, that's how I feel about Bellinger. And I'm not worried about Bellinger. I'm worried about how much it's going to hurt the rest of the team.
Exactly. Picture Freeman's on first, or not even Freeman. Lux is on first. He's hitting before Bellinger. There's 2 out. Bellinger could get on base, keep the inning going, and he doesn't do it.
Nope.
So
why is that, Jason?
Because he sucks. Because he won't fix his swing. Because he won't fix his movement. Because he won't fix his body movement. The Dodgers staff has come out anonymously and said it.
On injury.
Nope. It's been a year since your injury, Bellinger. You've been here all season. And more. It's more that people have come out and said he won't listen.
Yeah, I know.
He thinks he's Cody Bellinger of 2019 and 2020. So now, but the thing is, do you see Dave Roberts not giving Cody a spot in the playoffs? No.
Yeah, I know. I do see it. I predict that happening.
You see him saying, "Listen, Cody, you can't be in the playoffs because this, that we."
I see Trace Thompson starting over him in the playoffs.
See, a lot of people want Trace Thompson to start, and we'll go into Trace Thompson, but I don't see Cody start. I don't see Doc taking Cody out because Doc trusts too many. He's too loyal. Lasorda would pull Cody's ass out he'd probably pull him out now.
Yeah, he would have had him off the roster.
Yeah, he would have. He would have been like, "No, you're going back to the minor leagues. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm Tommy Lasorda. You're going to listen to what I want. I'm the manager."
Yeah, definitely.
Tommy Lasorda had the balls to go against the Dodgers front office.
That was at a time where, you can't really do that now. You can't be like Tommy Lasorda because they'll just put you away nowadays. Because the front office, and Tommy Lasorda was just a guy that could get what he wanted because he felt like it, and but it was also in the '80s. Things were different then.
Yep.
Like people were a little more open for opinions and all that kind of stuff. Now it's
I wonder why he left in '96.
Probably because it started getting bad. Like couldn't make his own decisions anymore. So he was like,
possibly,
you know what? I see where this game is going, and I want to get out while I can still eat hamburgers and not die.
Well, he was in his 70s.
Yeah, he was an old fuck.
He was an old fuck, but he took them to the 1976, 1981, and 1988 World Series. So, except he won 2 World Series, 81 and 88. Dave Roberts won 1.
And so that one didn't even count. 60-game season, I don't count it.
No, you count it because the haters are the ones that don't count it. I count it. They won.
I want to see them win this year more than I want to see them.
Oh yeah, because I want the haters to shut up. I want Stephen A. Smith to eat his fucking words. I want Colin Cowherd. I want all those guys. So Trace Thompson or Cody Bellinger, who do you see them putting in?
Trace Thompson.
Do you like him better in center field or somewhere like third base?
I got him in center, and then obviously Mookie in right, and then you switch in Chris Taylor and Joey Gallo in left field, and then.
Well, that's the other thing that they were saying was, let's say they give Cody Bellinger and Chris Taylor spots. That means that Trace Thompson's not going to be in there. Joey Gallo is probably not going to be in there either. That's what the rumor is.
We should hold on to Gallo. This is kind of off topic. Hold on to Gallo. I've got him hitting 300 next year.
I think so too. And I mean, look at he was doing terrible in New York.
But he's going to get the shift taken away.
Yep.
No shift, so he's going to get a lot of base hits. I promise you.
Oh, yeah. And people said, oh, he was just doing that bad in New York. Well, why didn't New York, the Yankees, the pride and joy of baseball, why didn't they do something about it? How is it that he now comes to the Dodgers and he's hitting way better than he did in New York? Because the Dodgers hitting staff sucks. That's why. Aaron Judge is just a different beast. Giancarlo's a different beast.
Yeah, let's talk about Judge before I go, because I really do want to discuss the MVP conversation.
Yeah, so just last thing on Thompson. Do you think they will put Thompson over Taylor or Thompson over Bellinger or all three?
I think as of right now, Chris Taylor will prove himself more than Bellinger, and Bellinger will be the one to fall to the wayside, and Thompson will start over him. That's only if Thompson continues to just do what he's been doing. If he could just keep doing what he's been doing, then
gets on base,
hits a home run once or twice a week.
Yeah,
once or twice a week. That's all you need.
That's game 1 and game 5, and then game 3 even if we can keep there. And then also, he's also great at defense. Yeah, he misses a couple. Bellinger's great at defense. I love Bellinger on defense.
Bellinger is a great center fielder. I'll give you that.
Is. But I think Trace Thompson, I wouldn't miss Bellinger over Thompson. Aaron Judge is set to hit, he has hit number 60. He is a free agent. Do Dodgers go after Aaron Judge?
Wild take. I think the Red Sox get him.
The Red Sox?
Yeah.
But they become the Boston Red Sox.
I think he's going to be the first one to say F you to New York and go to Boston. Nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever gone from the Yankees to the Red Sox. It's always the other way around. Babe Ruth went to the Yankees. Johnny Damon went to the Yankees.
Yep.
Andrew Benintendi most recently gone to the Yankees.
That's right.
I think he's going to be the first one to flip it and make it go, okay, you know what? I'll go to Boston. Because I do think he's done with New York. And
I think, like I told you, he's wasting his time out there.
Yeah, his only real friend is Giancarlo Stanton. Everyone else is just in and out. Josh Donaldson showed up out of nowhere. I doubt they even get along, But, everybody else is just expendable. Aaron Hicks sucks. I mean, I would want out of it. I would want out.
Yeah, me too. And not only that, the Yankees ain't going anywhere. Look at them flailing. Everyone was, oh my God, the Yankees. Oh my God.
If they do go somewhere, it'll be because of him.
But he's not enough to carry them throughout the playoffs.
I do think he is. I think he's that good. But it's like...
that good, but is the pitching that good?
Guys like Stanton, guys like Rizzo, they are strikeout kings. They strike out so much.
They are. And remember, Rizzo from the Cubs was an animal, and now?
Yeah, I mean, he's got his 30 home runs, but 216 average or something like that.
216 or 220.
Yeah.
I'm being a little friendly with the 220. So he hit number 60. He's a beast. So you think the Red Sox... So you think the Red Sox will get him. Pujols, do you think he hits number 700 this weekend against the Dodgers?
No, but I do think he'll get 700 this year.
You don't think he'll hit a home run at Dodger Stadium?
I think he'll get 699 at Dodger Stadium.
Isn't he at 699? Oh, no, he's at 698.
Yeah. I'm playing a game right now where whenever I say something, it doesn't happen. So I don't think he'll do it.
You don't think he'll do it? I kind of want to see him do it at
Popcorn.
Dodger Stadium, but I also don't want to see him do it because what if the Dodgers are leading 3-2 and then he ties it, or he hits a 2-run shot? You know?
You know, it would really suck if he
Hmm.
gets number 700 off a position player. Like he's got to get it off a real pitcher. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it will take away the meaning behind it, kind of. You know. So
Maybe.
you brought up Hanser Alberto giving up a home run to Pujols. That would
That's
be
'cause
kind
he
of
said
whack.
He wanted to do it.
He said that.
On the ESPN interview, he's like, "I want to throw the ball to Albert Pujols." He's like, "I want to serve him that ball."
That's what he's thinking about. Not okay. Let me become a better hitter. You know.
Hello. What else was I gonna discuss? Was that it? Was that?
I think we covered everything. You said we'd go for an hour. So
What time is it?
6:40.
What else was I gonna discuss? We discussed Austin Barnes, Cody Bellinger, Trace Thompson, Chris Taylor. Oh, will they pay Trey?
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers. Now he said he's open to it. He said he wants to re-sign with LA. He said it's either LA or the East Coast.
East Coast meaning Yankees.
East Coast, period. Right, but I think the Dodgers need to be smart here and sign Trey Turner.
Absolutely. Best shortstop I've ever seen play for him. Yes,
He's
better than Seager.
Yes, he is better than Seager. And I got a lot of crap for saying that, but I do think he's better than Seager.
He's way better than Seager. Seager didn't
Absolutely.
really – he went off in the 2020 season, and we will always remember that. But other than that,
He was God.
Yeah.
He went God mode. He went FU mode. He went, I'm Corey fucking Seager.
Right.
Seager's the name. And then in 2021, he went, I'm sort of Corey Seager. And then he took $325 million for 10 years in Texas. Someone took a higher AAV than him recently. I don't remember who it was, but I was like, oh, that's higher than Seager. And he went to the Texas Rangers, who are doing okay, but they're not going to the playoffs this year.
No, they're not. And
You know who's good?
They won't do anything.
No, they won't. Now, you know who is set to go to the playoffs, apparently?
Seattle?
Seattle.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. That's out of left field for me.
I love it, man. They haven't been in the playoffs. I would honestly root for the Mariners if the Dodgers got eliminated. I would root for
So would I. But I think that Seattle will be eliminated before. Someone asked me at the bar last week with my cousin, who would be a surprise for you that would make it in the playoffs? I said Seattle. Cardinals have some kind of a chance. They're battling right now with the Mets, I think.
Milwaukee.
With Milwaukee. They're battling with Milwaukee. They're ahead of Milwaukee, by the way. I think 2 games or whatever. Right? So I said I would be so surprised. Imagine if it's Seattle in the NLCS. Or not in the NL. They're part of the are
AL.
they? AL.
No,
Imagine them in the ALCS against the Mets. No?
I mean, that would be insane. For sure.
Who do I give the Mets the win on that one?
In a World Series scenario, yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, Seattle, the fact they're coming up, Logan Gilbert, your pitcher, did not come to the Dodgers.
I remember I said that. I thought they were going to get him. I honestly did.
Nah, I knew they weren't going to go over. That's why I told you, really. But why is it that Barnes was offered? Because David Vassay said they offered Barnes an extension before they offered Trey Turner an extension. I wonder why they're not offering Trey Turner that extension.
They might have already and they're keeping it private because he is waiting to tread the waters, and Austin Barnes for sure is going to sign, but since Trey Turner is not for sure going to sign, we're kind of waiting on it.
Right, but he said recently that he'd rather sign in LA, and if they don't sign him, then he'd go to the East Coast. If someone says, I'd rather sign in LA, why aren't they pulling out the paper and the pen and saying, here? Why isn't Mark Walters pulling out that checkbook? See what I mean? Like, if a player tells me I'd rather sign with you, I'm pulling out that checkbook if he's good.
Yeah, most definitely. I think he's just waiting to see if they win this year. And if they do win, I think he'll stay. And If they lose, he'll go.
But what East Coast team, aside from the Mets, has a good chance at the playoffs next year, the year after, the year after?
You know, the Phillies honestly do, and the Phillies are going to make the playoffs this year. You know what? Now that I think about it, I could see him going to the Phillies and teaming up with Bryce Harper again.
Yeah, I do think so. Speaking of teaming up, Madison Bumgarner's pitching this tonight.
Oh, I hope he get like 10 home runs off of him.
Ah, me too. So do you think the Dodgers are going to pay Trey, or is it a 50-50, or is it a hell no?
I think they want to pay him for sure, but we'll see. I mean, we have Freddie Freeman locked down for a while. We're going to have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman at least for 5 more seasons. So
well, Mookie Betts he signed for 13 in 2020. So he's barely 2 years in, or 3 years in now. So he's got 10 years. Freddie Freeman's got 5.
Yeah, that's a good amount of time, man. So I think what we need to focus on right now is winning. And you know what? If we win the World Series and then Trey Turner still leaves, I'm fine with that.
I would cry.
I wouldn't.
I would.
You shouldn't cry, man. You won the World Series.
Yeah, we won the World Series, but it's Trey freaking Turner. How many times have the Dodgers been down and out? And I'm like, oh, great, he's going to strike. Oh, he got a hit.
Yeah, I do actually have to go right now. My bad.
All right, no, it's fine. Last question? Were you disappointed with yesterday's games, and do you think that says anything about how they'll play?
Yeah, I was disappointed by it, but I don't think it has anything to do with how they'll play. It's just a, September game and against a team.
You don't think they're being lazy? You don't think
half-assing it? Yeah, not trying to risk injury.
Possible, but that's causing losses. And Code Red.
Good, we're where we need to be. We clinched.
But so, last 2 questions. Don't they need to continue playing so they can have the best record, or does that even matter?
Nah, I think they're going to get it.
Okay, and lastly, Code Red. Predict how it's going to go for him tonight. Dustin May. Is he going to be Dustin May of
5 innings, 2 runs.
filthy
5 innings, 2 runs. That's my prediction.
5 innings, 2 runs? Because he's been kind of shitty against the Padres, especially. But Code Red, is he going to be filthy, or is he going to be like, eh? Is he going to be filthy, crazy, oh shit, Dustin May, Code Red? Or is it going to be, why is he in there?
I think he'll have a decent game.
A decent game?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Duncan, thank you for coming on. I know you got to go watch the Dodgers tonight. Make sure you follow Duncan on Instagram. It's down in the description. Make sure you follow Franchise Sports Media. Duncan, hope to see you back here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right.
For sure. Have a good one.
Cool. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was Duncan Dye. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for commenting if you did. I'm going to check the chat real quick. I don't think anyone commented. I see no one putting in anything. But thank you for watching. Leave your comments down below. What do you think of the Dodgers? What do you think of all the topics we discussed? Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press the post notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. Also, support us on PayPal. We could never do this without you. And we will see you guys next time.